Good morning and welcome again to another Making Mondays Matter. This is David Ince of Living Successfully, welcoming you again to a brand new week. I trust you had a great weekend and your week last week was productive and you're ready to face this new week. It is a beautiful Monday morning here where I am, and I trust that where you are at also, that it is equally beautiful. This morning, I want to consider the twin subject of challenges and problems, or challenges versus problems. Just last evening, I was watching a video on YouTube where a number of university students who were seeking to be the first to win the Sikorsky human powered helicopter challenge. And they were going through a number of different things, and just a few things on the challenge itself. You're required to hover a helicopter at 3 meters within, I think, a 10-meter square uh, area for a minute in order to win $250,000. Uh, I never actually thought about it before, but it is an awesome task to get such a thing done. And whereas vertical or horizontal flight, I should say, is easier, vertical flight is significantly more difficult. But what caught me was towards the end, after another crash, as the interviewer was talking to the students, one young lady said, as engineers, we see this as a challenge, not a problem. And so it got me thinking on the two aspects and how we look at things and how you actually see a situation really determines what it is to you. Is it a challenge or is it a problem? And what are the differences, you may ask? Challenges are really just there to be overcome. And persons who see particular tasks as challenges just see them as another barrier to be broken down or something to be sorted out. Whereas problems tend to be viewed more in a negative light, something that hinders your progress, something that retards your growth, something that sometimes you just have to endure. And that's how some persons see problems. So there's a difference. And so it speaks more to our mindset. What is it that is before us and how are we viewing it? Is it a challenge? Meaning, are we just seeing it as something else, as a part of our day, a part of our week, a part of what it is that we want to achieve? There are many persons, especially those of us in the entrepreneurial and self-employment and business owner roles, we often have to look at things as challenges because if not, we wouldn't be in this game. Sometimes it requires extraordinary patience, or so I'm told. When you have some difficulties before us, like for example, today, and this is when I was still in the corporate world, oftentimes you would come across an employee who, at the first sign of a problem, would say, "Well, I'm done with this job. I ain't getting paid enough." And well, maybe there's some truth to that. But on the other hand, when you have a small business owner or entrepreneur who is seeking to branch out on their own, sometimes they're in situations where they're simply not seeing the progress that they would like, but they continue. They they seek to overcome whatever it is that is ahead of them. And for many, there are success stories of there of persons who endured and are successful today. And persons looking at them would sometimes say that they were lucky, but really, they just saw what was before them as a challenge and they continued to press on. However, if you see it as a problem and a negative, something that is just hindering you, your natural inclination is to try to avoid it. Try to see how you can get around it or circumvent it rather than overcome it. And so, if I had to put it in a nutshell, challenges are there to be overcome. Problems, not so much. Problems we try to avoid. And so, today, as we go forward into this day, into this week, let the mindset be that the things that seek to come before you to hinder you from getting to your goal, see them more as challenges, something that you can and you will overcome, rather than a problem that you need to avoid. Not all issues and tasks that we face need to be avoided. For example, any student would tell you, you don't necessarily like exams, but if you avoid the exam, you really can't get the degree or the credentials that you are seeking after. So you must go through that exam. That exam simply becomes then a challenge as opposed to a problem. So let's go forward into this week. Let's face our challenges. Let's overcome our challenges. And when we speak again next week, let's talk about the successes that we had. So I wish you all a great week and see you again next Monday. This is David X for Living Successfully Inc.